Hey, what's going on? This is Peter from Beer Today, Beer Tomorrow. And this week, me and Perry are at Alewife and LIC Queens, hanging with CEO and co-founder of the Beerly Legal Group, Patrick Donagher, for a special two-part show. Patrick was a great guest, and we had a lot of fun chopping it up with him. He's got a ton of exciting new ventures that he discusses over the course of the two shows. And the stuff he's got going on will light up the craft beer scene, so we know you're going to dig what he has to say. Real quick before we get to the show, on Sunday, June 3rd from 1 to 6 p.m. at Absurd Conclave, located at 360 Jefferson Street in Bushwick, Brooklyn, BTBT is hosting a bottle and can share extravaganza event. The event features art, music, food pairings, and lots of craft beer. We ask that each attendee bring a small amount of craft beer to the share with them, whether it's bottles, cans, or homebrew, it's all good. We rented out this beautiful venue decked out with art from local artists, and we'll be providing food for all attendees. Plus, everyone who comes will get a 16-ounce BTBT glass. There will be a bunch of prize giveaways, a few surprises, and not to mention a lot of craft beer waiting for you. A portion of the event proceeds will be going towards charity. Shout out to event sponsors, Homebrew and Hand Grenades, Brew Spice, Custom Craft Coasters, Tavor, and Barnacle Coasters. You can get tickets at eventbrite.com, or you can visit beertodaybeertomorrow.com, or by clicking the link in this week's show description. We hope to see you on June 3rd. Now grab a few brews and enjoy this week's show. It's a lot of fun. Cheers. So hey, what's going on, everybody? BTBT is back in Queens, hanging at Alewife, one of the best craft beer bars in New York. Perry, how you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. Glad to be checking out some new spots.
Yeah, I'm just glad it's a back-to-back shows in Queens. Feeling really good about that. And we're here with a very special guest. Sir, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name's Patrick Donagher.
You know, let's jump right into it. So, how did you get involved with Alewife and in the whole bar lifestyle?
Bar life?
Yeah.
Fuck. Go. Can I curse in this?
Yeah. Curse all you fucking want.
I'm not a. Where do I go? Where do I start? Well, I'm a fourth generation bar owner. Both my brother and I are first generation in America, I guess, as bar owners. Grew up working in a family business, like before school, lunchtime, after school, there 7 days a week. So always wanted to, I guess it was just ingrained from a very early age to be my own boss, because, taught from day one, but never really, when my parents retired, I went and became an electrician. Don't have the personality or the head for college. Always wanted to do my own thing, I love taking things apart, and so went down that route, and then immigrated from Ireland about 15 years ago, and doing electrical work. And then I doing a bar one time, and I went ended up over here, and that they were looking for bartenders, and I jumped in and started bartending from there. Within a couple of months I was managing it, and the electrical work started slipping away, and I started just going mental in the bar life in New York City, which back then, I'm sure still is now, was a little bit out of control. Worked in clubs, worked everywhere really. Got a break from a guy then years ago to start up a bar in Brooklyn called the Cherry Tree. So that's where I really put my ownership skills, management skills, I guess, into action. So created a little beer bar down there, I don't know, like 10, 11 years ago now. And at the time it was really only the gate down there, Bobby's place, and I would frequent that quite often. And we were selling craft beer from day one. There wasn't a lot of want for it back then, but slowly it came, and it came slow. Like, people are used to drinking their $3 beers, and then I was charging $5-6 for Sierra Nevada, those Blue Point Lager, and 6 Point. Actually, 6 Point was where I really learned everything. Jeff Gorlikin, thanks, John. Jeff Gorlikin came in one day, and we were just discussing beer and Righteous Rye, Sweet Action, everything like that started flowing constantly at my bar. Got a big education from them, and it went absolutely mental after that. Where did I go from there? Then my brother approached me and said he wanted to open a bar in Manhattan. Would I be able to do the same thing as I'm doing in Cherry Tree? So I took on that project and worked with him, and we opened Rattle and Hum in a couple of months. And then I was there, and my wife was in Brooklyn at the Cherry Tree, so it was trying to do both. And then we got crazy busy at Rattle and Hum, so we ended up leaving Cherry Tree and moving to the city, and because that place just took off like fuck. I don't know, just insane. You know, it was only like the Tiger, Ginger Man really at the time, and DBA were the three main bars in Manhattan that were just beer bars. So
Right, classics.
you know, we and people thought we were crazy opening up a beer bar beside a Ginger Man. It was like, you know, it's midtown Manhattan. There's millions of people here. There's plenty of room for another one. You know?
Absolutely.
And but it was cool. Bob from the Ginger Man came in and wished us the best, and you know, it grew from there. We grew. Many of the people I met and worked through then are still very close friends of mine now. I even work with a few of them, and you know, it was a relationship. We busted our ass for a couple of years, and then it was time for me to move on, and I went out and opened up my own stuff. And Daniel Lanigan contacted me actually when I was at Rattling Home, and said he was going to do something along in the city. It's like, okay, I didn't really know the area at all. I lived in Queens before, but I always 7 train just went right by here, you know, never got out got out of here. Smoked pot down here, but overlooking the city, but I never really went out here. At LIC bar maybe, you know, that would be the only thing. And so I helped him raise money for here with investors and people I knew through the industry, and then the place kind of went under a little bit not too long after opening. So at that time I was kind of leaving Rattling Home and trying to venture out my own and figure things out. So I ended up coming on board with Daniel and taking the place over and trying to get the place back financially healthy. And it's been 5 years later and we're still getting there. So the idea of starting with Alewife and seeing if I was good enough to keep this place going was a test for me to open everywhere else, and I did. I opened 3 other places and helped with a few others. And the idea for here was always to do a brew pub, and it looks like I'm just a couple of weeks away now from finally fucking installing that thing, you know. So I've been homebrewing for 12 years.
Nice.
Now we get to do it, but I wouldn't give you one of my beers, you know. It's like I hired a head brewer to do all that for me because he's way better, you know. You stick to your strengths, and I like to mess around with beer, but you know, maybe later on I'll learn from Kieran and you know, cover him when he's off or something like that. But yeah, it's exciting. Like, it's been a long road and a lot of ups and downs, stress, everything, but you know, I love what I do. I don't know what else to do.
Well, I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing.
That's the whole story. We done?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. You've listened to this week's show. But so tell us, when did you start having the idea about the brew pub, and what was the process like putting that all together?
Brew pub came to me 5 years ago when I took over Alewife. I was like, this place needs to be a brew pub. And
was there anything else in LIC already brewing back then?
No. Don't think so.
So you would have been the lead if you
yeah,
if you could have started early.
I just had no money to fucking do it, you know, and I needed to learn a lot more about it, and so it kind of pushed me in a direction. I was like, you know, Long Island City was struggling back then, and it was really hard to do business here. We couldn't get people out here. It, you know, maybe the bad rep it got because it was very expensive before I took it over, and then it was like pulling them people back and new people moving in. The apartments blowing up here were very expensive, and you know, it was a load of factors. I don't know what the hell, but I stuck it out because I really believed that I need to put a brew pub in here, and I always wanted to do that since the first day I learned about craft beer. It was like Chris Kuzmi taught me how to brew, and now he's 5th timer over here, and it's fun. We all ended up in Long Island City, you know. So
we chatted with him just recently.
Yeah, shout out to Kuzmi. Yeah.
So I love Chris. So happy for him. I was over there the other day. Just had a jellyfish beer, man. It blew my mind. I was like, this is amazing. Like, this is going to make your brand, you know. It's like, it was like, I knew he'd succeed anyway, but it's great to see it like in action. The bar or the brewery packed, and you know, they never forget their roots over there. Like their homebrew competitions, they're so passionate, him and Mary, about everything, and it's just a pleasure to watch them, you know. Like, such great people, good humans.
Absolutely. So jumping back to the brew pub, so now you guys are pretty close to releasing your first beers, right?
Yeah, we are. We're brewing up at Torch and Crown. John Dassler bought a Chelsea brewing company and flipped it and cleaned it, and they're producing some great beers up there, and they didn't have any. Well, it was strange. I reached out to Kelly Taylor from Calistone. I was like looking for somewhere for a home to brew while we're building out, and you know, create a little bit of a buzz and hopefully trial and error our beers. So it happened pretty quick. A few other places kind of didn't suit us and wouldn't let us do what we wanted to do. And head brewer care was he needs to be involved in recipe development and also brewing on site on the days. So it's not contract brewing; it's more gypsy brewing. We're like partnering with them on things. So they've been excellent to work with. Like they're just eager as hell. They're just like us. They want to get their beer right. We want to get our beer right. Like, and I can't remember who else they have up there, but it's a joy to work up there for brew days and just work the whole day there with them and see everything evolve. Everything changes every week from what they're doing. Like, it's becoming a really cool place to be.
Styling it in.
Yeah, it's really truly doing that, and so we got our license, all our TTB approvals and everything. So we're like, let's brew up there, and we'll try and get more beer out, because we won't get a lot of beer here out just for in-house consumption, really. So we're like, let's get beer out to the city and beyond. And because I ordered my 10-barrel brew house that's coming next month, so that's going to be our production facility, and that's going close by. Actually, I'm just very close to sealing the lease right now on that in Long Island City. So I'm trying to keep everything here, and so we'll be pilot system here, brewery over there, and then we'll brew in the Bronx then twice a week probably.
Wow.
So is the other space going to have a tap room or just be production?
Yeah, tap room, restaurant.
Cool.
Yeah, so that'll be a longer project, but we're going to get the equipment in there, get it producing beer right away, and then we'll add everything else later, because the tap room, this is our tap room.
Yeah.
So Alewife is our tap room, and over there we'll just do production until we're ready to do something else a little bit more fun, and creative. But we'll definitely have a tasting room over there for sure,
Very cool.
But, yeah. So
can you tell us about the beer you're rolling out with and why you chose the beer?
Yeah. Well, Kier done 3 IPAs, wheat beer and a pilsner. It's IPA. This is the decade of IPAs, it seems. Like everybody's crushing it, everyone's taking many, many different variations of it. Some great, some soup, some fruit, some you name the haze. It's gonna be released, which is great. It's creative. It's craft beer. This is what we're all about. You do your own spin on whatever you want. You can call it whatever you want. And I'm not going to side with purists and more, but I like the creativity of craft beer. And so what we decided to do is to come out with our session IPA first. It kind of was scheduled. It was kind of done for us, but it worked out pretty good. So we done a session IPA, which is called Electric Rhino. Very crushable, tropical, with hints of pineapple, and very light-bodied, not too much of a malt base in it. So I tasted it uncarbonated, and I'm really, really happy with it.
Yeah.
And our next beer is called Death to Ego. It's going to be our IPA. It's more or less a spin on the times of what we're living through right now, and we're trying to keep the man's ego at bay so this world can survive, I think, in a whole big picture there. And then we're doing Self-Decapitation, which is our double IPA. It's Carrots, baby. It's going to be a big, big double IPA. And then we have
the name.
And a wheat beer.
It's a good name.
Yeah, it's good. It's I love, like, I think it was one of the first beer names he said to me, and I was like, that's fucking it. I love it. So I'm really excited to work with him on this. Like, the professionalism is insane with him, and he just knows his beer, and I'm very excited to build a whole brand around him, and it's just the love of the beer that we both have that's pushing us every day. There's nothing else. It's like I love what we do, and this is the next step for me in my craft beer world. So
that's amazing. I mean, you're living your dream, right?
Yeah. Dream, nightmare, everything in one.
Everything in one, yeah. Hopefully more dream than nightmare.
It,
No, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And now you guys are having a release party here, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do like friends, family, industry. Anybody that reads our Instagram feed on the 18th next Tuesday, Wednesday, I think it is. Yeah. And then on 420 we'll release to a few friends' bars across the city, including my own. But it's not really about my own. It's about beer getting into the right hands. So
sure.
My dream has always been, like, for years, is I've always gone to the Blind Tiger for events and tastings, whether I sneak in early or late night or whatever. But when I have time to go, I always go. And I always thought, like, sitting at the corner of the bar, like, I want to drink my own beer here someday, And so, it's nerve-wracking too, because it's got to be really good, because I've probably shit on so many breweries over the years about their quality, and now it's going to it needs to be good. I want to sit there and drink it proudly, and I will. I'm trust 100% in the Kieran's recipes, and the two of us bouncing ideas off each other is hilarious and scary and fun, and it's a hell of a roller coaster we're on lately. Like the stress of building all this stuff, and I'm not a financial guy. I don't come from a money background. It's like all my own like graft kind of thing, and it's easy for breweries to have money behind them, but when you have nothing and you're making something from nothing, it's quite the fucking roller coaster,
Yeah.
So actually that's why I opened my own bars in the city, was so I could build up a little bit of cash flow so I could put money into, as well as, and we got just a couple of investors too that are helping us out, all savage beer people, massive passion for beer. So we have a good group of guys together and girls, and this will be a hell of an adventure. I think I went way off topic there, didn't I?
No, that was good though. That was good.
Big,
That was thorough, man. I mean, it's amazing all these things that you have going on, all these things that you're accomplishing now. It's really, really cool. Excited to see what you guys are going to be coming out with. So I'm curious. So also coming up is Queens Beer Week. Do you have any?
Yeah,
some events planned.
We're going to do the festival down here on the water. I can't fucking remember what you call it. The landing, LIC landing.
LIC landing, yeah.
And
Queens Beer Week kickoff.
yeah, so we're going to pour there, and I think we'll have 2 beers ready for that. We might have that to Ego ready, but again, I'm not saying we're going to be 100% ready on that, because we need to taste it. If it's shit, we're going to dump it.
Sure.
So hopefully, all the fingers and toes crossed.
Hopefully it's not shit.
Touch all the wood. Yeah. So we're gonna. I doubt it will be. Excuse me. But we're gonna pour there. We're gonna do a couple of events around friends' bars. We're gonna do something at John Bride Smokehouse. We're gonna do something Baroness Bar, and we're gonna do Judy and Punch, Jerry's Bar. So we're gonna go right. We have a good crew of guys and girls together. So we're gonna unleash mayhem. We like to go out and have a good time. Like daytimes for work, nighttimes for promo. And we like to do our promo.
Absolutely, man. Especially during Queens Beer Week. I mean,
I'm excited to.
I'm
excited to sell people beer. Other people.
Yeah, man. So now, just kind of taking a step way back. I know you said you grew up, you're a fourth generation bar owner, but do you remember what the beer or the brewery was that got you into craft beer?
6 Point.
6 Point.
Yeah,
They're the ones.
Definitely 6 Point. I was a Heineken drinker and a Guinness drinker over here for years before I got into it. But the more I think about it, it was like 3 or 4 years I was here before I got it. Before I got a taste, But the Old Tiger, DBA, Lower East Side, Sierras, mostly, and then in Brooklyn, when I was living in Brooklyn, I again, like when we opened the Cherry Tree, like they had Harp, Stella, Guinness, and everything in there. When I came in, it was like the deals they were doing. It was like out, and again, Jeff and a friend of mine, Andrew McLeod, were like, let's give this a shot. And I started tasting it. It was like, fuck yeah, this is the greatest beer I've ever had in my life. I remembered, like, it says 6 Point, Sweet Action, Righteous Rye, and Bengali Tiger, and we just poured shit out of it. It was, it was like such a step up from everything else I've ever had in my life. It was like, you can imagine what a kid feels like when they just taste something delicious for the first time. Like,
Right.
It's like fucking explosion of your palate. And it was like, there was a couple of, and then the adjustment making from 4% beers to 7-8% beers.
Oh yeah.
So-
You're like, I'll have 3 or 4 of these, and then you're like, whoa.
Everything, it was like everything was fucking crazy, Like we were getting fucked up real quick, real fast. It was so there was a bit of an adjustment period, but a lot of crazy fun things happened during that period, and good times. So, but yeah, 6 Point was, I would definitely say 90% of my experience and path into craft beer.
Have you gone back since you've joined the craft side to Europe and seen
Oh yeah,
a lot of the stuff going on over there now?
I go
too.
to Belgium and Germany once a year, twice
Nice.
sometimes,
Yeah.
and then I go to England and Ireland quite a bit. Ireland's starting to blow up now with craft beer, and England's doing real well with it. But my whole palette was designed around Duranca, Delisane, Cantillon. Been pouring that shit for 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true purity to me. That's pure beer. America's the wild child. Creating everything, leader of stuff. Like, let's take this, fucking spin it around upside down, and boom, let's do something new. And but the purest would be European, like it's just like history really.
Yeah.
And
Are you guys thinking about doing any mixed fermentation stuff?
yeah, we're going to do a lot of fun stuff here, and not here probably will be very experimental.
Right.
Production then will be controlled, So
Yeah, I mean, you gotta decide what you're gonna do as soon as you open that door.
Like
so.
I've a few whiskey buddies. Kieran, my head brewer from Scotland, so he's got the Scotch connection. I've got the Irish connection.
Yeah.
We're whiskey barrels. So Teeling Irish whiskey are actually going to be coming in and doing shipping barrels over to us.
Awesome.
So we're gonna have fun with them. We'll do some collaborations with that. I love Teeling. They're my favorite Irish whiskey. They opened their doors to us when we went over there, and we try to do the same here. We actually replaced Jameson with Teeling.
That's awesome.
And it was huge. I don't think anybody's done that before. It's a huge seller. So, but doing some funky barrel work is going to be high on our list too. But we'll do that at our own facility, nobody else's.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we're going to do. A lot of things. We're going to play around with everything. We're not going to deny ourselves the fun of doing something.
Wow. Yeah. So I mean, you may have already answered, but what's like the most exciting? What's driving you the most right now? What's something you're really looking forward to now? And then, what are your thoughts for this whole thing going forward?
Exciting parts. I'm a nervous wreck right now. I haven't slept properly in about 3 weeks, so it's crunch time for me right now. So there's a lot of moving parts within Alewife Brewing Company. Not to even mention anything that I'm doing outside of this too. So I guess getting the brew pub is first and foremost, our tap room up and running properly. Like here, it's been great. We started up here in the second floor of Alewife and moving things around, installing a tasting bar, putting a game room over there. We got to do outside, and now we're doing like all renovations, and we have to build a brew room, so hopefully that'll be starting soon. We're just waiting for our permits to be given the okay, and once that starts, we're working with Kushner Studios, the architects, and they've designed the brew room and everything for us with Kieran, my input, and getting that system. We got the system beautiful. I'll show you guys after. It's from SS Brewtech, and it's 1 barrel nano system, and it's sexy. And we'll have probably we start with 4 or 5 fermenters and a couple of bright tanks, and then we'll have about 20 altogether in total here.
Wow.
So we'll have a little fermenter farm downstairs, huge basement, so we're going to take that up, and I'll show you where we're going to do the barrel room and everything. So it's this is definitely priority, but at the very same time I'm negotiating leases now, and we put 3 offers in for 3 different warehouses, so one of them accepted today. So now I got to start negotiating that lease with the lawyer, and it's all go, and then we got to do sales on top of that starting next week. We already sold out our first batch, but there's a lot more coming, so we got to make sure. We got to do our website's coming together now. We're nearly finished. A friend of ours, Alexis, is doing that. She's awesome. And got to take pictures of beers. We got to design more recipes. God, it's fucking endless the amount of shit we have
everything.
to do. Yeah, and then I have to run my bars. So it's but luckily,
no big deal. No sweat.
Luckily I have 2 managers at each place that are just the tits. Like they're they're really good at what they do. And so they've taken a lot of pressure off, and now my job has always been managing managers for the last year or so. So after I stepped back from management myself, it's been delegating. It's the only way I can really get all my work done in a week. It's a lot, and I have great people around me to do that. And opening new places, deciding when to do that, and getting partners to do it together. So I don't have to do 100% of it myself, which is a pain in the ass. So it's I will never do a place that I find the right person to do it with, like my GM, because I build a place around them. I'll do the construction and everything and build it up around their personality,
Right.
Make sure it's a place they're ready and want to
to
be involved with.
You don't just build something for the sake of building something. It's not just another bar. It's not nothing. It's everything. You put a year of your life into it to build it, and you need the right person to run it, and their personality has to come out onto their staff and to their customers, and it's got to be a well-run establishment. It's hard to make everybody happy, but we try. And hospitality and service is something that we excel at. We try to do our best. It's like the times we live in now, it's very hard to please everybody. Like, you have to be very careful about every fucking thing. It's a nightmare, but you know, we got to adjust and adapt and reviews and there's reviews about the Grand Canyon, for fuck's sake, like, it's like it wasn't fucking sculpted by Michelangelo. It was been there, but anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of pressure on every angle. I have a crew of nearly close to 100 people now, so there's a lot of responsibility on my shoulders to make sure they have a paycheck, they can support their families, they can take a vacation. It's a lot of work, a lot of pressure. So it's getting there. It's just longer days now, just getting everything planned out. And I've just hired, really excited about this actually, Pat Fondelier, formerly of Smutty Nose and longtime friend, and he's going to be my sales director.
Oh,
aka
nice.
Beer
Cool.
Beast. So he's a fucking legend. So I'm really excited to get working with him, and I, it's fun gypsy brewing and everything up in Bronx, but it's gonna be fun to have our own house,
Yeah.
And walking into your bar and it's stinking full of beautiful recipes. And, it's gonna make you thirsty, I'll tell you that much. And then like doing the production brewery is gonna be intense. I'm not gonna lie, it's freaking me out, but I've been around places and people and for so long now that. And I have a construction background, I'm not going to take shortcuts, or if I do, I know where to make them.
Right.
But it's, we're really excited to get going on that. But the work we're all putting in as a team is incredible. Like, I've got such good people working with me and got great partners. So I'm really excited to get it out. And I'm just, I drink beer for a living, kind of, And,
It's a good job.
Yeah, it's good, but it's dangerous too. But what I do is I get to taste a lot of good beers. First pours of a lot of breweries. I get to see where the
market's going.
Yeah, it's not like the craziness of beer is it shifts in so many different directions at so many different times, and you could be gearing up for a summer of say Goza or Berliner Weisses, whatever, and then next thing, boom, Pale Ales just came back, and now they're fucking crushing it. And now you're like, oh shit, we got to get this out. And then when does the Pale Ale craze stop? How hazy does Pale Ales get now?
Yeah.
What's the new category going to be for this? And like you just got to stay ahead of it. And I don't want to be an industry leader or anything. I just want to be able to keep up. Because
right.
it's hard to keep up, and you just gotta just put stuff out there, and then somebody else will do it better, and then you gotta do it better, and it's like you gotta keep up with the market, and it's a beautiful market, and it's got full of beautiful people, and it's different than many other industries. Not that I know about many other industries, but they help each other. There's collaborations. It's a family. It's one big fucking family. They're all fucking nuts. There's divorces. They're back together, and it's insane. It's like families are nuts, and there's no difference in this industry except for we'll give each other a hug because there's beer involved, and we get nice after a couple of beers. It's like, I'm fucking sorry, man. Here, give us. Come on, let's do something together. Come on, buy your beer back.
Yeah. Right.
Fall out over stupid things every week, and it's but we bounce back. You get stronger, and it's crazy, dude.
Yeah. No, I know. It sounds pretty crazy. So now I know it probably a little further down the line, but you guys obviously eventually going to be thinking about canning as well, right?
We're already thinking about it. So what I wanted to do first of all, not just Kier as well, our head brewer, he wants to. We were going to do like a 60 barrel batch right off, and it's a lot. It's a lot of beer, It's like if you get a good yield, it's fucking 110, 115 kegs,
Yeah.
And I didn't want to put something out there that was that much and be stuck with that much if something went wrong.
Right.
Something was infected. Anything can go wrong,
Right.
I know breweries that had the asphalt problem for nearly a year before they found the problem. It could be a little valve that built up bacteria, Anyway, so we're going to do we're going to do a 30 barrel batch of everything, first 5 beers, and if everything goes well, we'll scale up the recipes and probably do double batches. And I think they have 60 barrel fermenters, so we'll just do double batches and crank it. And then I think after we do the 60s, then we'll can probably about 20-30 barrels of it, and then do the rest in kegs, 6 stills and half barrels. And that'll be it. I think we'll just get a mobile canning unit in. I think they're working on getting their own up there, so that'll be cool when they get
Built
their
in
own.
basically,
It'll be the price will come way down too, so you're not buying fucking $10-12 cans that are you got to pass on. Unfortunately, you got to pass on the cost to the consumer.
Yep.
Right.
And but beer is getting expensive now. I never thought I'd be buying $240 IPAs, but here's me like a fucking idiot buying $240 IPAs. But it's good beer, and people want it, and the demand is there, and when demand's there, economics works out.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So now, do you have a time frame then? How soon do you think you'll be doing all that?
We started. We already done 2 batches. Cannon.
Yeah, the
Sorry.
cannon.
May or June. I'm not
Very
sure.
nice.
We
It's
got
still pretty.
Yeah, we're not in a
Short
rush.
scale,
It's
yeah.
right
Not
around
in a
the
ru-
corner. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not in a rush, but yeah, it is fucking around the corner. Yeah, it's April.
It's
Shit.
April already, right?
Right. That'd be huge. You do it doing Queens Beer Week. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I can't wait to do. I don't want to rush in. Quality means more to me than
100%.
quantity.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
again, I want to be comfortable to drink. Like I'm drinking Fiddlehead IPA and Stillwater Extra Dry right now, and it's. I want them as good as this, and it's quality control. So we're gonna be like what we want to do. We're gonna do a test batch here at Alewife first, and we'll monitor it and hopefully make some adjustments for the next one. And then we're gonna put some kegs away and see how they sit. Maybe it'll so we can estimate how long they're gonna last for without
Kind of a shelf life and everything.
Yeah, we need to figure out, what's the hop dissipation going to be on it? Like, what's going to go wrong? Will there be off flavors coming out later on? We don't know. Like, so I wanted to get warm, cold, and drink it in 2-3 weeks.
Yep.
Because you never know what bars are going to do, and
Soon
by
as it
not
leaves the
tapping their
house,
beer right
yeah.
away, So they could be sitting there, they could forget about it, and then tap it, and then somebody goes in and drinks it, and it's fucking tasting like shit. I don't want that to happen. We'll take the keg back. I don't want, like, I remember other half, Jesus, they were on me, like, you tapping the keg this week? I was like, yeah, 100%, and we'd forget, and then they'd never let you forget that you forgot. But that's fucking quality control.
So
you got to be doing it.
Can you self-distribute, or is it all?
Yeah,
have to
we're
be...
self-distributing.
Okay, I mean, because that does give you that vehicle to know who's putting your beer out and at least have some kind of recourse, right?
Yeah, we're going to self-distribute. Actually, my brother Joe offered to drive a van for me last night, so I'm taking you up on that.
You gonna pimp out the van?
Yeah. I got my nephew coming over. Actually, Oshin coming in. When is he, in June or something? So he's got a job for the summer.
There you
Big
go.
brute of a kid, he'll be delivering beer all over the city for me.
Hefting some kegs.
It'll be me and Pat Fondelier probably first, dropping around kegs everywhere. And, we're going to do it until we can't do it anymore, we got, like, friends of mine, Mike Schatzel up in Buffalo, won a couple of kegs, so weekend in Buffalo. But, yeah, it's going to be fun doing distribution. I've always had this idea of doing it at night time. And traffic is gone. I can't deal with traffic, And bars are open at 4 a.m. Come on.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I'll give you a discount. But then it becomes an insanely long day for me, so we'll figure something out. But we're trying to get bars now for 420. I think with the batch nearly gone. Pat went crazy yesterday or today, and I had a few friends that wanted to pour, and I'm reaching out to more. And the batch is gone. I think there's only like 5 kegs left, so I haven't even tasted the final result. That's a good sign. I just hope we can keep it up, and maintain quality,
Yeah.
So, and we want to have a bit of a buzz around our label, like we work hard, but we play harder, and
Yeah.
Absolutely.
that's my philosophy. Is like, you can go out and party with the boys one night, but you gotta wake up like a man the next morning, so it's
Yeah.
in this industry, it's really hard. Like, holy shit, I went out for one. It's at 7 o'clock. It's now fucking 7 a.m. It's bright out. I'm going home. Sorry, wife.
Those are the sacrifices you got to make.
Yeah, absolutely. But I've got a rock of a wife. She helped me build everything. I wouldn't be able to do it all on my own, 'cause she ran here. And their wife, when I was opening, going crazy in Manhattan, Yeah. So it was, she's a massive integral part of my company. So,
Wow.
and now she's actually managing Rochard right now tonight, and she was supposed to be out of the business. She's back every so often, like, thank you.
That's the one I haven't made it to yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've
This
been
guy-
to the other two, and tonight's my first
We're
night
doing the
here.
grand opening 420.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And I have a dank fest at Fool's Gold in 420. We're launching Alewife 420.
There you go.
420.
420. There you go. It's a
Ruined.
good day. Just jumping back to here at Alewife. So now, what you guys also serve food here, and you mentioned you guys are going to be revamping your menu, right? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Chef Josh has been waiting for this time for so long. We honestly could not afford to do it. We had to do a basic menu for the last couple of years. Like, business has been real tough here. No matter what beers we bring in, no matter what, it's just a very tough neighborhood. It's a brand new neighborhood. There's a lot of expensive buildings going here.
Yeah,
they're very high rent, and it's hard to attract people to a side street in Long Island City. Close what is it, 100 Point? So it's like it's way off. We're not on Vernon. We're not on any big neighborhood like with lots of people. So it's business has been really hard. So Josh has to bite his tongue for a while, and now we're ready to invest into the food program. We're just going to get the brewery done first, but he's doing tests every night. He's doing different specials of stuff, so we're keeping track of like what's selling, tasting everything, and I think we're gonna have a cool little menu. It's I don't want a big menu for a brew pub. If we're going to get volume and we do we're doing if we do a can release and it's successful and our beer's good, people will come for it hopefully. And I want a kitchen to keep up with a couple hundred people coming outside, and we have a big space so we can get them in here. They're not waiting outside in the cold or anything. So, customer service, man.
Yeah, definitely.
So we want a fast kitchen, but we also want quality kitchen. So it's a very, very hard thing to do. And I have, my sister was a chef. I always got barred from the kitchen, so I never really learned. I done peeled vegetables, And but Josh he's the shit. He's young, creative, fucking hungry.
Yeah.
He's doing some crazy fun stuff in the kitchen. I come in some days and go, oh my god, what is that? That is fucking amazing, So I'm really looking forward to just unleashing his talent and let him go nuts. And but yeah, we're doing some fun stuff with Sigmund's Pretzels. We're doing a taproom special pretzel. So they're mad creative down there, and they're really excited about doing something with us. So I can't be the one to do it. Josh has got to go, use your strengths, and he's the best. So he'll be doing that. We're going to be doing beer dinners and stuff. We do up here with our tasting bar. We're going to set up long tables and do beer dinners every so often. Not a lot, just maybe once a quarter or something. Have some fun. Invite people in for new beers that we're creating, because this here will be the pilot system. This is everything that's made here will go to our production brewery, our 10 barrel, where our 10 barrel system is, or else to the Bronx. So everything's developed here, and if you come here and drink here, you get to taste what is coming next from the Alewife Brewing Company.
Is that a little bit like how Dogfish does, from what I hear?
Yeah.
You got the...
it's exactly what it is. Swear to God, Sam had no idea you were doing it. I've been drinking there. I've never been 19% beers.
I've never been, but that's what I've heard is Rehoboth.
Yeah,
always has little stuff going on, and then if it does really well, then they push it, to the main brewery.
Yeah. That's fucking exactly. I guess I'm not.
Well, you're following on
good
laurels, right? So nothing bad about that, right?
No, but yeah, fucking huge.
Well shot in land, right?
Well, there you go.
But fucking caught there, what? But we have I love Dogfish. I've always been a big supporter of theirs. They've always supported us. They've done events here. Sam comes up when he's in the city, always visits Alewife, and we try to stay true to his brand too. We always bring in his beers. We always there are always cans of his beers here. They are certainly the fucking industry leaders. If you want to talk industry leaders, they are the guys that had the balls to experiment when nobody else could afford to, and nobody else wanted to take a risk like that. They were the ones that really crafted what beer is about today. They've made some wild shit.
Yeah.
They fucking made beers that were. I was at a thing in the Discovery.
Oh yeah, the
thing.
Brewmasters or whatever.
Yeah.
That was fun little show for the little run it had.
What was it? It was their Egyptian beer. What beer would it taste like?
Oh,
around the pyramids and shit?
Yeah. Right.
Fucking nasty, but hey, you done it.
Yeah.
Beer was gonna suck back then.
Was that the one where they chew corn to make it or something?
No, that was in South America, I think.
Ah, that's right.
Oh
yeah,
the chewing corn that shit is gross.
Yeah.
when they just spit it back in the thing. That was crazy.
Doing it. It was a really interesting story, but maybe not the best beer, but hey.
Would have been something if they made it like that,
something
though.
different, right? That was the beauty of it.
Well, they're
pioneers.
pioneers.
In a modern brewery now, sitting around a bunch of people sitting there chewing corn, spitting it in. The fucking health department would just go, "What do we do here?" The amount of complaints, Yelp would probably fucking shut down. It would be closed. It wouldn't handle the fucking reviews.
Oh, come on, that would become a trendy hipster thing real quick. That would be real quick.
I can imagine it. Skinny jeans and corn. Let's go. Hey, Brooklyn, you heard it in Queens first.
Artisanally chewed beer.
Yeah.
There you go.
The fucking rage taking over the world. Oh man, that would be brilliant if that took off.
Oh wow.
Let's hope somebody does it. So we can sit there and go, told you.
Told you it was gonna happen. It was gonna
Are
happen.
you gonna do it? Fuck no. I'm drinking that shit.
Thanks for listening to this week's show. For all my New York folks out there, make your way to Alewife this week, 420. Got an awesome event going down there. You get a chance to try the electric rhino. Good things happening at a great place. Great food, great people, great drinks. What else could you ask for? I mean, I don't know, really. I mean, that's about all I can think of. We'll be back next week with part 2 of our conversation with Patrick. But until then, drink local, drink fresh, repeat. Cheers.